Hey everybody, Jeremiah Davis here, CEO of Davis Thorpe and Associates and Business Funding Now, coming to you with my weekly live. I got another great guest for you this week, um, and we're going to talk about some things that you can do right now. So we're going to talk about how to invest in real estate during the pandemic. Um, and it depends on who you talk to, you're going to get some different information. But this person is actually doing it. She's been doing it for a while, and she's my cousin. So without further ado, let me bring in Brandy Thorpe, portfolio builder. How you doing, cuz?
Hey, Jeremiah, what's up, cuz? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You and the family staying safe?
Yes, we are. We've been, well, at least the kids have been in the house for several months now.
Yeah. But y'all still alive. Y'all made it.
We're still alive. Yes, we're still alive. We're still safe. And, thank God.
Good, good.
I'm hoping this is all over, but who knows when it's going to be over. But yeah, we're just doing our part to stay safe. Whenever we go out, we're safe. So.
Good. Glad to hear everybody's doing well. I'm doing good. I'm staying in the house. I don't go out much unless I have to. Pick up some supplies and things like that. But I'm having everything usually delivered: groceries, Amazon, Instacart, whatever, just to minimize.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to work from home,
It is.
especially in this climate, right?
Right.
Mm.
Count the blessings. Count the blessings.
Absolutely.
So tell the people, how long you been doing this, and how you got into it. Just a little background on yourself.
Well, I've been a real estate investor, my husband and I, since 2007. And obviously, the first property was, our primary residence. That's where it started. And then, we branched off from there. And, during the last recession, we used to flip houses. And then, we learned, some mistakes that we made during that time, and we came back, we revamped, and now we're portfolio builders. Our goal is simply just to build, as many houses or to build our portfolio as much as we can, while we're still young and we're still active and we're still working. And the ultimate goal is just to build, that legacy for our family, our children. We can leave something to them and their kids and things. And so we've been able to create, a portfolio for our family where, I've been able to retire from my day job. And so we're both full-fledged entrepreneurs, self-employed, and it's all about real estate. And it's allowed us to do that and spend more time with our family. And so I'm enjoying it. And I'm glad, I'm so blessed to be able to do it still while we're young.
Okay, for all us, layman people, what does portfolio builder mean? Just in case some of us that don't know.
That is a good question. So it just basically means that we we own multiple homes. Okay. And we just add more to our portfolio. It builds up our net worth. It helps us build equity. It increases our income. And so, our goal is to not, flip the homes for a one-time income, but to, purchase them, keep them, and create a residual income. And we just purchase as many as we can.
Okay, well, I got to ask because how many houses do you have in this portfolio now?
Between our business and our kids trust fund, it's over 30, and we are actually in the middle of some closings right now. So
Wow.
this year has been, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, but we have been very blessed. It's completely different from the last recession that I can recall us being in, and we have really grown this year and last year. But this year we've been doing really good, keeping busy. So
Good, good. Yeah, well, yeah. I'll be watching you. It's like every week you are in at least one or two different houses trying to rehab them and get them ready for your next tenant. So that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. And I don't know if you're still doing this, but I just like to tell the people you were helping people in this arena, right? Helping single moms do some things. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So yeah, I still do that. So basically, the houses that we have, we rent them out to our single moms. And then, I always encourage them. And there's quite a few that I've helped to become homeowners. I've always felt that there's never going to be a shortage of renters. There is a shortage, especially in our communities, I feel, of homeowners. And do whatever I can to help bring the knowledge or the educations, especially to the communities, the ones that I was raised in, to let them know that we need to start looking at real estate as a wealth building tool. It's more than I'm a homeowner, I'm ready to buy a house or my forever home. I don't even look at any house that I get or, I plan to move here soon. It's never my forever home. It's strictly a wealth building tool for me and my family. I'll choose to pick something to live in that, accommodates our needs and we can be comfortable in. But my whole goal is to build equity and to use that equity to create additional income for my family, so that when I'm gone, I don't want to be selfish. I want to leave, something for them and make sure that they're comfortable. Yeah. So I always encourage, mothers to do that. And I help them with that, to clean up their credit and then help them to go through the process of becoming a homeowner. A lot of people sometimes think it's hard, and it may be if you don't have the education or the know-how or the tools. But for someone like me, it's really easy. I close on homes literally monthly, and it's easy for me to be able to help, walk people through the steps, what you need to do so that you can, be a homeowner too. So, that's ultimately my goal, Jeremiah. I want to see more single moms become homeowners and to be able to, build wealth or equity in their homes. And, they can send their kids off to school if that's what they want to do. They can start a business if they want to, or be able to, eventually retire and not have to worry about a mortgage one day. So that's what, our focus is.
That's awesome because, it is a lack of knowledge in our community about these things, and we need more of that. And that's kind of the purpose of the show, is to provide the content for people who don't know. There's many ways to build wealth, and we all should be thinking about building wealth and leaving it to the next generation. And even if it's just, your first time, homeowner, and you're building some equity, but you're leaving something for your kids, or you're providing a better life, a better environment, better thought process than because it has to start there. It's like, okay, we when I was growing up, I think I was in high school when my mom bought our home.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bitty, smaller home from public housing,
mm-hmm.
this little home, but she got there. And so now I'm on, there's multiple businesses and doing all these things, but we got to give back, I feel obligated to help as many entrepreneurs succeed with my businesses as possible, so we can change our environment, change our community, change our mindset, and maybe we can make a difference. So I think that was awesome that you're doing that. I'm sure that the people in your community think you're awesome. So let me ask you, what is going on from your perspective in this COVID? We've been in this, about 5-6 months now?
Too long.
Definitely too long.
I'm done.
So I want to know what you see, the good and the bad, from this experience, and what do you think is coming?
Well, let's just start with the good, right? I think what's good is in terms of real estate is that the interest rates are very low right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the lowest that I've ever seen, and I'm 39 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get, 2%, 3%, right? You can buy down points. So right now, if a person is in position, is a really great time to purchase a home, period. Because what that means is if you purchase a home now with interest rates as low as they are, you are going to save a lot of money. You're going to, keep more money in your pocket. Your mortgage is going to be low, depending on, your credit score and things of that nature. But you'll be able to build equity in that home over a quicker period of time versus, if interest rates were higher. So the interest rates, I think, are amazing. It's bomb. It's unbelievable. I personally didn't think, even a year ago that they be this low, but here we are, 2.9%. So that's a really good thing. The negative thing is that I would say, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, a lot of people were unable to work, and maybe they were unable to pay, their bills. What that means for everyone, the banking system, the landlords, the tenants, because at the end of the day, we are all in this together, right? If the tenant doesn't pay the rent, sometimes that means that the owner of the home can't pay the bank. And if the bank, can't get their money, then, they take a loss. And maybe what that means is, in the future, they're going to have to strengthen their lending practices. So we're all in this together. And, what I've seen is a lot of people legitimately unable to pay, their rents or even their mortgages because they were out of work. But then also what I saw, unfortunately, is a lot of people who were in the position to pay, and maybe it's, if they were renting, but they didn't want to because they wanted to take advantage of, the courts not being open, the pause on the evictions and things of that nature. And so now here we are, the courts are about to open, and, it's said that there is going to be a floodgate of evictions. And what does that mean? Also that some homeowners may, unfortunately also lose, some of their homes in result of. My hope is that it's, not really that bad, but we're probably not going to be able to know how this is all going to pan out until end of this year, sometime next year, because it takes, several months for these types of things to, for the process of things to happen. But, that would be the kind of, I would say what's going on right now is that, unfortunately, maybe, banks were not able to get paid because, people were either out of work or not out of work. So,
yeah. So basically what I'm hearing you saying is there was people that could have paid their mortgage or their rent and chose not to, but it's going to affect us all, whether the banks can collect their money, whether the banks, how they react to the situation, if they stop lending or make the requirements to get a loan for a house or personal or business more difficult for us, because of this kind of a domino effect, right? The housing market, starts teeter-tottering, and that affects our whole economy. I mean, we've seen that in the last recession, but that was a different cause and effect. But all the information I'm getting is kind of lining up with that. It's going to be good for some, it's going to be bad for some. But as I've been trying to tell people through these shows, is if you're still able, pay your bills, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, but also prepare for what's coming next. If that's getting your credit right, building your business credit, getting some other additional financial resources, so you're in a better position to come out of this better than you started. So that's good information. That's good information. I want to also, you started doing some coaching, maybe I heard in the community, or you got some courses coming out. What's going on there? What are you doing there?
So right now, we are, my team members, and business partners. We have Andre Coakley, Ken Collier, Derek Harper, L.A. Williams, I, and Brandon. We all, are coaches over our Hush Group community. So if you haven't already, you can visit the Hush Group community on Facebook. And we're just, it's just a group of leaders here to hold, other businesses or people aspiring to, own their business accountable, for being leaders in their businesses. Okay. And we have a really good lineup of coaches who can assist them with anything from, virtual assistants or marketing or automation systems, things of that nature, customer service or branding. Me personally, myself, as far as the real estate is concerned, I do not have currently a coaching program for it yet, simply because, I'm one person, and honestly, I'm so deep into real estate. Like I'm literally out every day from dusk to dawn, in and out of my houses, in and out of, hardware shops, in and out of banks or title companies, to try to get my real estate transactions complete so that I can continue to build the portfolio. So I haven't had, time really to focus on assisting, like doing one-on-one coach. Let me say that. However, I have developed a program, and it's called Portfolio Builders, and it's going to be a series of 10 Zoom webinars. Okay, because there's just so much that a person, if they're truly interested or serious about being a real estate investor, that you truly need to know. It's not something that we can take one day and you're going to know everything. So I've been discussing it with my team, and honestly, it has been in the works for at least a couple of years now, developing the program, how it, I should deliver it, what's the best way that I feel that I can legitimately deliver the information. But then my goal is not to only deliver the information, but I want people to actually take this information and then utilize it, right? And then also learn how to build a portfolio too. So I broke it down into 10 volumes, right, to cover everything from A to Z that I feel a person needs to know about real estate, right? And I'm releasing the first volume, Portfolio Builder, at the end of August. August 31st is the day. And so you can also follow me at Brandy Thorpe on Facebook. The links will be there here in the next couple of days where you can sign up. And then basically I'm going to run through the volumes, and I'm just going to run down, the whole entire game, Jeremiah, on the zones, because I know a lot of people just give information, but they don't give the how-to, the process, So I'm going to go and just give everything from, how to, locate these properties, the team, how to create banking relationships, and how to be a landlord. A lot of people struggle with that, about the whole rehab process.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to dig in deep. Everything I feel like someone should know about real estate investment, how to set up your business plan so that you are able to be successful, because believe it or not, some people get into real estate and, maybe after their first house, they're out because, number one, it's not a cheap business to get into, right? It requires money and a lot of it. So you need to really be creative, and you need to really know what you're doing, or have someone who can, run down, what needs to happen through this process so that you are able to win. Because I'm telling you, this is definitely, point out to me when I say wealthy person, and guarantee you chances are they own real estate, right?
Yeah. That's one of, like, I think one of the 4 or 5 foundations to build wealth. I think Warren Buffett said it, that you have to own real estate. I mean, to be a millionaire, you have to own real estate. So that's awesome. And I know, for my experience, most people will give you all the fluff, but they don't give you none of the meat and potatoes or the details of how to do it. Matter of fact, I might just sign up for that myself, because that's something I'm interested in. And from my perspective, as a broker for funding from a wide range of different funding products, I do get a lot of people calling me and saying they, when they want to get into real estate, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
They don't. They just say, I seen a property, looks like a good deal, I want to buy it. And I'm like, well, did you get it under contract? Do you have the 10 to 20% down? Do you have a rehab budget? You know, all the detail, and they usually have none of that. And they expect somebody to fund their whole deal.
Yeah.
Which I've yet to see that happen.
Yeah.
So
you make a really good point. And Jeremiah, I've worked with you too before with, this whole planning process. And so you're absolutely right. A lot of people just don't even know, as far as documentation, what they need to have, and it's just really simple things, right? But they just don't know, right? So that is something that I'm going to dive deep into, right? Tell you these are the documents you need to have set up before you go to the bank, so you're going to be ready, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you through this whole process and give you everything that you need to do exactly what it is that I do. So after that, it's just a matter of a person implementing. So I'm going to dive deep into all that. And I honestly don't know how to deliver. My team, they make fun of me about this, but I honestly don't know how to deliver without giving like everything, right?
Yeah.
There's no way I know really how to do it. So
it's an art form to give a lot of stuff and be like, wait a minute,
right. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, right. but one of the things that kind of gives me anxiety, so I haven't really dove into it as an investor. I'm building my portfolio with real estate.
Yeah.
Is the horror stories, right? I watch HGTV like all the time because I'm trying to gather information, but it's a big penny. But picking the wrong rehab team and all those little details like that is like, and I know some people like you guys, you create a company to do your rehab, as well, but that's a lot of stuff, right? I mean, not only that, then the materials and you buying them retail or wholesale, and I mean, there's a lot of details in the real estate game if you want to really do it. And I don't know a whole lot of people that give you all of them. They give you bits and pieces of it.
Bits and pieces. And that was one of my main concerns, when people hit me up and they talk about, hey, I want to have, you to mentor me, or I want, do you have a coaching program? Well, this entire time I had been holding off because I simply wanted to make sure that I cover it all, right? I don't want to start anything, Jeremiah, and it's, half done or incomplete, or a person feels like, I should have known this, but this information wasn't given to me, and then maybe I took a loss in this area because of it. So it's really taken me some time to think, and even I still learn things every day, right? This learning process is honestly, truthfully, never ending. You just have, some people who are far ahead of the game, and and they're still learning tricks, and how to, okay, now I'm a portfolio builder, but here's the next level. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. That's a whole new elevation to this particular industry. So I've really been thinking deep and hard and taking notes of these last couple of years about everything I feel a person needs to, be able to literally walk away from their job and use real estate investment as a solid, stable income, and to be able to provide comfortably for their family, because that is exactly what my husband and I do.
Yeah, and then there's other aspects, right? Because you have the residential, then you have the multifamily, like apartments or duplexes and things like that, and then you have commercial. That's a whole different kind of ball game, right? And I don't know. I'm putting you on the spot, and I apologize, but do you dabble in some of those as well, or is it just primarily one or the other, or?
I have multi-units, and I also have residential properties. And when in the portfolio builder volumes, I actually break down why that is my particular business model. Commercial, I own a commercial lot, and but I'm curious to see what's going to happen to commercial, in light of this whole pandemic, and and a lot of people are working from home now. I've been thinking about that lately, like, because there's a lot of Fortune 500 companies who lease out, or even businesses who they are leasing, their commercial buildings. And now that people are staying home, kids are going to be doing, virtual schooling. And, this whole pandemic has put us into a new mess where the entire world, we have to figure out how to literally work from home and run our businesses from home. I'm interested to see, what's going to happen in the future with commercial real estate in particular. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've been working from home for like 5-6 years, but it's new for a lot of people.
It's new for a lot of people.
And then, I mean, changing the business model so you don't have all that face-to-face interaction. If you're in a service-based business that doesn't require, that I can do everything I need to do over the phone and the internet. So we don't really need an office space per se. And I do shop around for office space because I plan on moving, but that there's a lot of office space available.
Yeah.
You're trying to give it away, and it's like, okay, but what is that a smart investment, to lease or purchase a building?
Yeah.
So that's all good stuff. That's good stuff. But in your course, we're going to learn all the stuff about the residential and the multifamily, right?
Yeah. That's my primary focus right there. And
So,
then, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nope. That's it.
Well, I just want to let people know that, like you said, go to her page and follow her so you'll be ready when that stuff drops. You'll be, get the first volume, and as well as the 10 volume series. That sounds like a lot of detailed information that everybody can use, and especially if you're really serious about getting into real estate. And I hear people talking all the time about, is this a buyer's market or is it a seller's market, or, and I hear everything from some people wait for things like this to happen, and then they buy. They buy up all the inventory as much as they can, and then I hear people saying, "Oh, I'm just going to reserve and wait to see what happens." So it's like, it depends on who you talk to. You don't know what to do. You get frozen, like the deer in the headlights type of syndrome, not knowing if I should invest or should not. What is just your opinion, not your expert advice? So,
yeah.
You have a disclaimer.
Since you're talking to me, I'm going to tell you what I feel, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? We could watch the news and, we can watch the stock market and we can try to guess what we forecast, what is going to happen, right? We honestly don't know until we get there. However, stay ready. So this means that if you are wanting to become an investor, if you haven't already, correct your credit. If you have any money to save or saved or coming into some money and you can put it to the side, put it to the side, because right now, currently, especially where I live, here in the Midwest, this is a seller's market. So pretty much what that means is if a seller goes out and lists their home today, they can ask top dollar for it. In fact, there are bidding wars. So a seller can say, hey, I want $250, for my house, but there's not enough product. And now you have all these buyers who are taking advantage of these low interest rates. And you may have a buyer that comes and say, hey, I'll take it for $250 on day one that the house is listed. But then you might have another buyer in that same day that say, well, I'll put up $255 for it. And then another buyer that says, hey, $260. Now, the agent is like, yeah, $280, $290. It's like bidding wars going on out here. So it's literally a seller's market. The good thing about that is, for people who own homes right now, if you build up equity, and right now is a good time if you need to, for whatever reason, to pull out that equity or refinance that home, or to take the equity out and purchase another home, things of that nature. So right now where I live, it's pretty much a seller's market. That basically means the seller is going to get, pretty much what they want for the most part. If you're really good, negotiator and some people, there are still truly some good deals to get. It's always, in my opinion, no matter what the market is doing, a good time to invest into real estate, period.
All right. That's what I wanted.
I purchased real estate in a pandemic, in a seller's market, in a buyer's market. It just doesn't matter. If, there's a deal to be had, I'm going to take advantage of it because, again, my goal is to build my portfolio. And I'm, if I'm able, I'm snatching it up.
That's awesome. It's awesome to be able to do that. Put yourself in a position where you're like, you know what, I'm going to go buy a house or two or three, and do it and then make it work for you. So that's awesome. And I mean, quite frankly, like I said, I get a lot of calls for the real estate, and my knowledge is from the bankers, what the bankers are looking for.
Yeah.
Get you the real estate, not so much from your end as an investor, but it's something I'm always been interested in. So, but that's great information. I'll open it up. If you got any other thing you want to, if we got any questions, we got a few viewers. Does anybody got any questions they want to ask Brandy? If not, you can give out your contact information again. And I'll see if any questions pop up here.
I would just say no. You can just follow me at Brandy Thorpe. That is, or I am Brandy Thorpe is my personal page, and Brandy Thorpe is going to be the page where I release information regarding the real estate course that's upcoming. So yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
As always, I'm Jeremiah. I'm branding myself now. I started last week as the funding coach, and I do have funders for real estate investment, commercial, residential, fix and flip, fix and hold. So I know what the banks are looking for to get you the money so you can buy that investment property. And that's all I got. I want to thank you because,
thank you for having me, Jeremiah. I appreciate it.
I know I appreciate it because it's valuable content, and we're here to help people. And they need to know the resources that are available to them.
Absolutely.
So that's the whole point of these shows. And y'all stay tuned in next week because I got somebody else that's great for entrepreneurs. Of course, I'm not going to give it away now, but it's another member of the Hush coaching group, and these are all my friends. So I'm going to tell this quick story because it was ironic how we met.
Oh, yeah.
We was at an event, and she wrote her name down in my booth, and I said, Thorpe. I was like, wait a minute, that's my family name. Come to find out, she married my cousin, and we never met each other, but we have the same great-great-grandfather. So we all came, and it was a cool story because you never know who you're going to meet at an event in this industry, and then and then we've been tight ever since. So
we had the whole family tree there, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. So it's good. It's all about who you know. You got to find the right information because you can pay a lot of money for the wrong information and don't get nowhere.
And you will. There are tons of people who do that every day.
Yeah, I've been there, done it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Brandy, like I said, tell the family I said hey, and thank you for doing the show. You guys stay tuned for next week, and I'll have some more good information for you. All right.
Have a good weekend.
Too.
Bye.